Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is POV, and welcome back to another week of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 Diamond is Unbreakable, episode 22. And wow! Man, my complaint last week with Joshikaya Kira's stand, Killer Queen, um, like it be not being not being all too well animated, and me giving an explanation that maybe they're saving the budget for something better, and I'm so happy that that was the case. Killer Queen looks menacing as fuck. um, wow. Killer Queen just looks absolutely the way that I wanted Killer Queen to look. It was just like it had this evil aura, this evil look to it. At the same time, the animation, the drawing, the way it was drawn, like just so beautiful, so well done. I can't wait to see more of this. But regardless, let me just get on with the overview because some interesting stuff happened. So we leave off where we start off where we left off last episode, and that is with Shigechi encountering Yoshikaya Kira, and Yoshikaya Kira making it very clear that he wasn't planning on leaving Shigechi alive. So Shigechi uses Harvest to try and attack him, um, and as Kira stands, Killer Queen appears, like Shigechi understands, like, alright, this must be something like Josuke's stand. It must be something that has low range, but at the same time must be really powerful. So I'll hit him from the I'll tag him from the distance, which then, like, Kira straight up uses Killer Queen to throw like a dime at like a coin at Shigechi. Um, Friggin' Harvest catches it, and he's like, what the fuck, this is a coin. And we get introduced and we get explained Kira's Killer Queen's power, which is a bomb based power. It's very to explain in a simple manner, whatever it touches becomes a bomb. So that coin straight up explodes in like Shigechi's face. Kira thinks that he must have died, must have disintegrated, which is my little complaint, I guess, in this episode. And that will be a nitpick, I guess you could say. That is the fact that Kira says that whatever it touches turns into a bomb, it explodes and disintegrates, but the coin was still intact, if I'm not mistaken, after it exploded. Unless he grabbed another coin, and that was what he was doing when he was talking about his power. But if I'm not mistaken, in the episode, like, he straight up grabs what I thought was the same coin again. Um, maybe it's a plot hole. Maybe it's just the animators not being too careful. I don't remember how it was portrayed in the manga, at least, so I can't say too much about that. But regardless, Shigeshi uses Harvest to just hide the fuck away. He hides between some bushes and understands very clearly, like, I have to get away from it. I have to, like, his face got fucked up. He was like, I need to find Josuke. Josuke can heal me and I will be all good. And at the same time, as a character, I'm not too crazy about Shigechi, but the way they were handling his situation, like him being in a very tight situation, running through the hallways in school, and people just seeing him like, oh, what the fuck's up with that guy? Like, oh, don't worry, he's just a weirdo. And while he was fucking bleeding, it was fucking sad. And just I think the phrases that got me the most were just saying like, I have to tell everyone about this killer. I have to protect my mother. I have to protect my father. I cannot let this guy get to them. I have to protect them, and just like those things, that phrasing of him, you could tell it was not gonna end well. But this emotion of these last moments of still, even though you there's a big possibility that something's going to happen to you, that what you're the only thing that you're thinking about, aside from Josuke healing you, is your beloved ones, your parents, just wanting to save them, wanting to do anything to make sure that a person as evil, as fucked up as this guy doesn't get a hold of them. And that's what got me the most personally. um And Shigechi finally does it. He reaches like the classroom where Josuke and Okuyasu are, and as he's turning the knob, he sees on the glass reflection, he sees fucking Kira behind him, and he's like, "Yeah, my stand already touched that doorknob," and you just see him disintegrate. Fucking, oh my god. We transition to fucking. Well, first of all, we see one of Harvest basically just run up to Josuke because Shigechi was yelling Josuke as he was dying, and one of the last pieces of Harvest is carrying a button and towards Josuke, and Okuyasu points out like the way Harvest is acting is not really that normal. First of all, there's only one piece of Harvest. Second of all, he was bleeding, and third, he like stands don't disappear like that. They don't blow up or get disintegrated. They disappear. So something was definitely up. Um, they go on to check up on Shigechi's stuff. Like they could tell that something was wrong, that he was nowhere to be found, no trace of him at all. Um, we transition to the back alley where Reimi Sugimoto is situated, and she sees Shigechi's soul like vaporizing, and the way he died. She basically sees that and understands that yes, it is indeed Yoshikawa Kira doing this. And she points it out. She said like there's yet another victim to this murder, and it transitions to a small scene of like just like everyone, all the good guys that we know. We know like Samahara, I think was his name. We have Koichi, Jotaro, we have the Invisible Baby, we have the Old Man Joseph, we have Aya. Um, Everyone's there, and Josuke and Okuyasu are like talking about like what happened, explaining the situation, and Jotaro points out like, you know what, give me that button, I'll investigate it, because if it has to do with a stand, then like Jotaro and Joseph definitely are going to get involved with this. And Okuyasu is like straight up, he doesn't know how to feel about it. He doesn't know if he should be sad or angry. Like he's like, which is an understandable feeling because it's like, for us, we only saw Shigechi for like 2 episodes, 3 episodes maybe. But for them, in their world, maybe they were a little bit closer from after their previous experience that we saw, and maybe they became somewhat of friends. Um, and even that, just like speaking from as someone who has lost people, just the realization that someone passed away is something not um, hard to explain and hard to put in words and hard to just accept at some points. So the last part of the episode is just Jotaro meet up with Koichi coincidentally, and him visiting this tailor, which apparently wasn't mentioned on the maps. This was I think he was a shoemaker, but also does tailoring, and that's why it wasn't mentioned in the Morio maps. So he goes in there. He asks him if he knows anything about the bun, and he's like, oh yeah, like I had a customer who I just did an order for a customer for that same bun. And let me go get the jacket that was just hanging over there. His name is over here. And as he's about to frigging, oh my god, as he's about to frigging grab the name and show it to Jotaro and Koichi, frigging a, a sort of like miniature tank rolls up and straight up shoots him through the arm. The tank rolls up through his mouth. We can tell that is Kira's doing because he's hiding behind the frigging door and he's trying to get a hold of that coat. And this tank thing is yelling like, "Look at me! Look at me!" I know the name of the stand. I'm not gonna spoil it because I don't know how they're going to depict it in the anime at least, but the original name I'm very well aware of. And last episode I did drop a hint towards it. If you are a manga reader, you most likely caught it. And yeah, the episode ends with just the fucking body exploding of the tailor. And Jotaro and Koichi are clearly going to go up against Yoshikage Kira right now, and we will find out more about this ability of Killer Queen as well. But man, oh man, that was a great episode. Now to go over to the 3 points that I talk about in every episode: the animation, the pacing, and value to the overall plot. Animation, 99% beautiful, perfect, cannot complain. Pacing, absolutely well done. Even though the second half of the episode was a little bit tamer, I would say, slower. It was meant to create like the tension and create the mourning aspect of losing Shigechi. Um, the value to the overall plot, friggin' like Killer Queen, we find out what its abilities are, and we get introduced a second power already of Killer Queen, and we will see what it is. Because otherwise, it looks like Kira has two stands, right? But I know that what's the case. I know what's going on. I'm not gonna spoil it for that those anime only viewers. Regardless, my name is LPOV. If you like this overview, please hit the like button down below. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. I do this every week. If you are a manga reader and you want to talk about the what's going to come up or about speculations or other things, please put spoiler tags in your comments down below, and I will be back next week. I hope you guys enjoy this overview. Have a good week. Bye.